Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Really quickly, I'm being fumed heavily by the same types of oppressors whose philosophy went into this horrible economic system we have here, where conservatism and straw man, instead of valid liberal arguments, dominate the economy. So, what is the difference between capitalism, communism, socialism, and my moral economy argument? Number one is that the philosophies of the governing class, be it they sat down together in a large group or a group that dominates the governing class, or be it from their various compartments, came up with those other ideas, capitalism, socialism, and communism, to control people. Think of it like Voltaire. Voltaire is saying, hey, he wants capitalism as long as people worship him and him and the people he mentors, as long as people kiss their ass and they control money and women. He says he doesn't mind communism, right? That's what he would say. As long as people give him control of the money and so on and so forth. It's like that famous Rothschild quote. The conspiracy theorists claim it comes from Meyer Rothschild or whoever, where he says give him control of a nation's money and he doesn't care who makes the laws. The bottom line is capitalism, socialism, and communism were all made by people who wanted to control the money and the women. And they sent out their little agents to make those systems. And as a result, we all see it that way. We have strong association taking place in our minds when we think about those terms. And those terms are evil terms made by evil people for an evil system. They don't emphasize morality. Most of those people who made those things, there are certain types of people with certain philosophies like Satanism and atheism where they don't emphasize morality. Nothing about the word atheism suggests morality. So when someone says they're an atheist, they're saying that they do not emphasize morality and they don't think that people should cite God or religion to try to get people to be moral. Okay, I've never come across somebody I would describe as a moral atheist in my life. And the fact of the matter is, the two ideas aren't compatible. Because when you destroy people's idea of how things should be, in a way that destroys their core philosophy, that gives them some kind of a moral code, and you offer nothing to replace that, nothing sane, okay, you make a less moral society. And people who deliberately make a less moral society aren't moral. That's simple. And of course, when you look at it, right, there's people who want to control money and women. And how do you get women to have sex with people they otherwise wouldn't? You destroy their moral center. You destroy their moral philosophy. You destroy any morality they have. And so we see that Christianity has lost its morality as white Jew and LGBT fanatics dominate it. We see that there's atheism movements on the rise. There's New Age, light workers, these people who are void of a moral code. So right now they're filming me. I'm going to put a clip at the end that overkills that they're filming me. But you should understand what I'm saying. Bottom line is, in the moral economy, that morality is emphasized in a way that transcends propaganda. A huge problem on this planet is that people have these governments and these churches and these other institutions where they swear up and down they're moral. The military even swears up and down it's moral or something, while they're raping females left and right. Law enforcement swears up and down it's moral, why it's enforcing immoral laws, and so on and so forth. And there's a code of silence. I mean, that's such a huge problem. With the moral economy, there's an emphasis on destroying hypocrisy. There's an emphasis on morality in reality. So it's a moral economy, aka an economy where there's morality in reality, and not being said by a white supremacist or something. You know by who's saying it, more often than not at least, whether or not it's moral. If anyone else says that they have a moral plan, you can't believe them. Who are they? What were they doing when the top martial artist was trying to rise? What exactly were they doing? Was it the optimal moral thing? No. I've never come across anybody who has any moral argument as to why they should be in charge. It doesn't exist. But when you hear me say it, and you see that my arguments are sound, you see the rational thinking behind it, you see that I'm fumed and persecuted, while they're sitting there twiddling their thumbs as some kind of bootlicking coward. or they're aggressively or assertively pushing an illogical agenda, well, then you know beyond a reasonable doubt that the economy that I push, my moral economy idea, is sound. But theirs is not. And what do you call somebody who follows an immoral plan instead of a moral one? A pussy, a coward, a shallow idiot, a hollow fool, a heartless dog, etc. Oh, that's heavy fumes, heavy fumes. Okay, remember that they are changing my voice. So why a moral economy and not socialism or capitalism or communism? Well, part of it has to do with my argument about why socialism and communism and capitalism were made. They reflect the philosophy of the governing class, okay, in their various compartments when they come together and plot one way or another, and they decided, okay, they're fuming pretty heavy here, and they decided, okay, they're fuming pretty heavy here, okay, they're fuming pretty heavy here,